My name is Norizati Christina binti Syarudin.
My name is Durus Zulaika binti Azmi.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Akilah Syahira binti Hamidi.
Hi, and Assalamualaikum. My name is Sofia Hana binti Rahmat.
My name is Nur Anissa binti Amiruddin.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports was formed in 1953. It is responsible for youth, sports, leisure activities, stadium, recreation, youth organisation and youth development. Budget is the amount of money that government has to spend during each year on what it has been decided to spend on. Malaysia's GDP is forecasted to experience a rebound of economic growth up to 7.5% in 2020 year-on-year, with a projected fiscal deficit of 5.4% of GDP. The expansionary budget 2021 is angled to spur the nation's economic activity as the country grapples with the pandemic effects. Basically, budgeting will be presented by the government on every last of the year so that the people will know where all the money will be used for our country. The enough budget are really important to the Ministry of Youth and Sports in order to enhance the youth and sports of the country.
So, the first objective in the budget proposal is to provide a platform for the Malaysian youths that are interested in making business. It is also an opportunity that could boost a participation of investors in the green growth of Malaysia. For instance, the government and the participation of investors will help the Malaysian youths that are interested in business but didn't have the opportunity to involve in business through the program that has been mentioned in this budget proposal. By that, it will also help the people that lost their job during pandemic COVID-19 by offering job opportunity as well as can help the expansionary budget recovery for Malaysians. Therefore, this objective has been aligned with the program and project in this budget proposal in detail.
According to the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the focus is not just on improving athletic performance but also on improving pupil well-being in order to close the urban and rural development divide. This is because decent well-being is a human right that cannot be denied, and the government will continue to seek the best way to ensure rakyat well-being in a variety of ways, of particular for young people, by increasing the synergy between urban and rural development. As we know, Malaysian youths are playing an important role in the country's quest to acquire the position of fully developed country. Based on the National Sport Vision 2013, aspire to identify, produce and empower sport talent through a more structured and complete talent development model based on the application of exact science in order to have a quality of life. The difference between rural and urban areas can be narrowed since the government efforts to provide opportunity for young have contributed to improve quality of life and increase salaries, particularly among the poor. The focus of Ministry of Youth and Sport is not just on sport but also on the development of youth in participation in government programs or activities that provide numerous chances for youth to increase their power. Youths will play an important role when the economy recovers, according to the Ministry Dato' Ahmad Faizal Azmu.
The last objective that relates to economic resilience is providing alternatives for Malaysians to earn a living through sports. Ministry of Youth and Sports' purpose is to provide Malaysians with chances to make a living through sports. Any sports activities or event serves to improve infrastructure, create jobs, secure foreign capital inflows, and generate players and athletes which contribute to a country's economic growth. That is why the government wants to create an awareness that sports can give us a living income through the opportunities or alternatives that will be provided to us with the 2022 budget. Hence, the government will be scouting and discovering new talent and turning sports in becoming a source of economic growth. For example, Ministry of Youth and Sports had developed the National Sports Industry Action Plan in recognition of the importance of sports as a contributor to the national economy. It has been proven that sports is a new source of economic growth, citing international economic statistics that indicated the worldwide market value of sports reached about $388.3 billion in 2020.
The government has main goal which is to achieve the well-being for people. It's because with rakyat's well-being, it can raise up the people's trust on government. To be precisely, it is referred to the standard of life, people worries and problems for the government to care about. Then with this way, it will help the government to know more about what the people need and also can help to improve with their living. Furthermore, regarding to the rakyat's well-being, the Minister of Youth and Sports will create a program that relates to sports health accommodation with various of activities that accomplish with its own facilities. In year 2021, the allocated budget that the government gives to the Ministry of Youth and Sports is 103 million ringgit.
Sports healing rehabilitation programs are designed to maximize fitness, performance, and functional ability. People of all ages can use rehabilitation to sustain or return to their everyday activities. Physical medicine, therapy, massage, and other health treatments are used in sports rehabilitation programs to improve healing. The ultimate objective of sports healing rehabilitation is to minimize the extent of injury, decrease deteriorations, and loss of function. Injuries can deprive the athletes of compensation and let down the hope of people who have passions for sports. Sports healing rehabilitation programs is crucial for people's mental health or psychology. Injury is more than just a physical ailment, it's more to mental and emotional health. For example, an exercise injury's frustrations and helplessness might have a negative impact on someone's mental health. It might be depressing to discover you can no longer or even temporarily to perform something you used to like, such as any sports courses. Rehabilitation and healing are not only physical but also psychological. Therefore, the Sports Healing Rehabilitation Program is important to be established by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Many youth are currently involved in sports nowadays, but there are also pros and cons. To prevent the cons, which are physical injuries and mental or the emotional well-being issues, the Ministry should come to the light to help to curb this matter. The first activity is psychiatric rehabilitation. Psychiatric rehabilitation activity will provide complete community-based recovery and rehabilitation treatments. In this program activity, the Ministry of Youth and Sports ensure that all individuals in the program activity will get high-quality and cost-effective therapies that are personalized to their specific needs. Hence, as a result of improved access to healthcare services, individuals will have better health outcomes. The activity aimed to the people with mental health disorders where they are being offered regular sports training sessions in order to improve their quality of life and self-esteem. It had been proven how sports and physical exercises improve the psychophysical well-being of persons with mental health disorders during the last several decades. Sports and physical exercise serve as true treatments, complementing psychiatric medication and help to prevent mental distress and improve the quality of life. Therefore, the strategy for this activity is the Ministry of Youth and Sports plans to build a psychiatric rehabilitation center which provides a couple of facilities. At Psychiatric Rehabilitation Center, there are two main facilities that will be provided from Ministry of Youth and Sports, which are rehab therapy and physiotherapy for all people at the same place. The budget allocation already had been estimated that it will cost 8,460,000 ringgit would be spent on psychiatric rehabilitation center construction, which it also includes with the facilities features needs such as new infrared sauna machines, functional trainers, Smith machines, echocardiogram machine, hyaluronic acid and platelet-rich plasma therapy device, oxygen and hydrogen therapy machines, various gym and medical equipments, electroconvulsive therapy machines, biofeedback therapy machines, and watch treatment for mental disorders. However, that 8,460,000 ringgit is only for one building alone. Ministry of Youth and Sports Department plans to build two psychiatric rehabilitation centres, one in Semenanjung and one in East Malaysia. The cost for two center building construction with the complete facilities included that have been stated earlier, will cost up to 17 million ringgit for this activity program only. This program activity hopes that all persons with mental health disorders are able to protect their physical health rights, self-esteem and mental health by developing therapeutic pathways that integrate regular sports training sessions with psychiatric rehabilitation in order to improve their quality of life. Psychiatric rehabilitation has led to significant advancements in psychiatric treatment and care. Psychiatric rehabilitation had progressed to the point that it should be provided to everyone, including persons with disabilities. Compliance rates are moderate, hovering around 50% according to Lehman and Steenwag 91. Based on existing rehabilitation studies, treatment and rehabilitation procedures need to be greatly improved. The second activity is Community Sporting Club. This activity is actually to promote sports development and elevate the standard of sports in the community, as well as to encourage lifetime engagement in sports. Community Sporting Clubs plays a vital role in delivering social capital and community health outcomes. Community Sporting Club activities can have a positive impact on one's physical, social, and emotional health. The social and mental health advantages can be greater than those obtained from involvement in individual kinds of physical activity. It also can reduce someone's mental health and stress because with variety of community sporting clubs activity, they will spend their time more playing sports with their friends and avoid loneliness. The Ministry of Youth and Sports plans to deliver the program activity locally with the goal of bringing together all key partners involved in health and wellness, physical activity and sports development. By assisting activity clubs in providing great sports and physical activity options to the entire community, the initiative focuses will be on equity and inclusion. Therefore, the strategy is the community sporting club activity can collaborate with recreational hub. So, with the 950 million from 2022 budget allocated to Ministry of Youth and Sports, the Ministry of Youth and Sports plans to create Community Recreation and Sports Hub. The Community Recreation and Sports Hub is a multi-purpose facility. The people will be spoiled for choice when it comes to keeping fit. Whether you are a sport enthusiast or just want to pick up an activity, it will have an array of versatile spaces to suit people's needs in one same site. In order to ensure that Community Recreation and Sports Hub become the best sports and recreation center, is the Ministry of Youth and Sports must plan to include various of complete sports facilities to be built along with the hub construction, such as badminton courts, tennis courts, basketball courts, squash courts, multipurpose courts, swimming pool, fitness gym, cafe, sport library, sports hall, running track, bicycle track, archery field, and climbing rock. The total cost of the Community Recreation and Sports Hub construction is estimated to 9,730,000 ringgit. This includes with the complete sports facilities as stated earlier. However, that stated total cost is just for one building only. The Ministry of Youth and Sports plans to build 3 main Community Recreation and Sports Hub at major cities of Malaysia, one in Kuala Lumpur, one in Georgetown, and another one in Johor Bahru. Each Community Recreation and Sports Hub must include with the complete sports facilities that have been stated previously. It is estimated that it will cost up to 30 million ringgit for 3 buildings and its facilities total in these activities only. With this activity program, the outcome is those who participate in community sporting club activities can able to make socially vulnerable people feel better because of increased self-esteem, self-efficacy, and motivation to set and pursue health-related goals and mental health. This is because through this program, community sporting club coaches proceed to assist socially vulnerable people in setting and pursuing personal health goals, as well as contributing to participants' resilience building trajectory is the ability for the community sporting club participants to be themselves and learn through experience and from others.
Then is the Mental Health Sports Talks program. Mental Health Talk is a monthly community talk on radical mental health that focus on casual chats about sports health and friendly mutual help in a welcome environment. It is because of the increase in athletes affected by the closure of COVID-19 epidemic restrictions that contribute to mental health distraction. Malaysian Ministry of Health has identified that the prevalence of mental disorders among adults was 29%. This is a threefold increase in comparison with the 10% prevalent rate identified in 1996. Mental health sports talks are different than going to a therapy session. We want to create a comfortable environment. A mental health sports cafe can be built as an indoor and closed venue. It will serve as a catering area as well as a preventative contact center. A mini indoor variety sports game section inside the venue will also be provided to attract the athletes. The Mental Health Sports Cafe will be built for 2 buildings only, which will be located on the central region of Malaysia, which are Kuala Lumpur and Selangor. The Ministry of Youth and Sports chose this region based on the statistic that has been stated, which has the highest prevalence of mental disorders. The budget allocation is estimated at around 9 million. With this program, the athletes can express their hidden feeling to lighten up their burden. Then, it also can reduce the percent of people with mental health problems. It will help people to let them know that they are not alone and there are still people they can lean on. Then, the program 4 is the Disabled Sports School. It is crucial to have a sports school for disability people in Malaysia. Around 17% of people with a long-term disability or disorder engage in weekly sporting activities. The construction of Disabled Sports School could be realized as it could empower and develop persons with disabilities in sports. The Ministry of Youth and Sports plans to build a sports school for the disabled. Disabled People's Sports School give a better initiative to these para sports to grow. The government should provide various facilities, including the stadiums, sport complexes, courts and fields, as well as offer opportunities to former athletes to be appointed as coaches. With budget allocation, one disabled sports school can be built in South Malaysia, which is Johor, one in East Coast Malaysia, Pahang, one in Central Region, which is Selangor, one in East Malaysia, Sabah, and another one in Sarawak. Total, there would be 5 disabled sports schools that would be built with exclusive sports facilities for disabled students. The costs that will be needed for this program are estimated total around 77.6 million ringgit, which are including 5 disabled sports school building, equipment and facilities. The Ministry of Youth and Sports has planned to build 5 schools in the selected region because it wanted to help the disabled person to have a courage and confidence in themselves to succeed in their life. With the budget allocation, the program can be done smoothly without any obstacle. Thus, with this Disabled Sports School initiative by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, it will make all youth Paralympic athletes has more mission and vision in their life. The distance of the community place with the disabled sports schools is only take 50 minutes and it's really convenient for disabled people to join.
Second goal of the Budget Proposal 2021 is business continuity, which is the ability of the government to execute key activities during and after a calamity. Usually, business continuity planning will establish risk management strategies and procedures targeted at preventing damage to mission-critical operations and re-establishing proper implementation operation as fast and easily. For instance, many countries in the whole world, including Malaysia, still affected by the COVID-19. Thus, this situation has made the country having a deficit in business and job employment are decreased due to unstable of the economy during pandemic COVID-19. Therefore, the Ministry of Youth and Sports has come up with initiatives such as programs that will help to develop the Malaysian business continuity to the sustainability of youth and stabilize the country's revenue by focusing on improving the youth development. To achieve the goal of business continuity, the project is enhancing youth talent and rapid entrepreneurship. By 2030, youth must be prepared with the necessary knowledge, skills, and identity to satisfy the demands for labor, while also forming a fully evolved society. Components of social and soft development such as leadership, volunteering, nationhood, entrepreneurship, and personality will continue to be used at all levels of young people. The Ministry of Youth and Sports will ensure that no youth is neglected or excluded from the benefits of the country's fundamental growth. The initiative also will seek for entrepreneurs among the youth who have great skills and capabilities. It will also promote career opportunities for youth, whether through entrepreneurial initiatives, training, or mentorship. Many young people in West and East Malaysia, including Sabah and Sarawak, are having difficulty finding work, and several residents from East Malaysia have relocated to the peninsula in search of job for the better pay. The Ministry of Youth and Sports has proposed an idea to implement a project for the youth people to generate an income via mentorship and leadership training. Through this project, the ministry also will aim to improve the careers opportunities for youth people. The targeted area includes urban and rural area in Peninsula and East Malaysia. Youth are the generation that will determine the direction of the country's progress. Hence, the Ministry of Youth and Sports will prepare the youth nowadays with the skills that are relevant to the development of the current world. This initiative has a big potential to transform the standard of living, whereby they can use their skills and talent to make profits. First program to enhance youth talent is One Youth, One Mentoring for Malaysia. Basically, this program provides youth to get a mentoring in a variety of courses, including digital skills such as programming, web and app development, digital marketing, financing, architecture, computer science, welding, pastry, and bakery. The Ministry of Youth and Sports encourage graduate young people to be mentors who will also strengthen their skills and abilities. This will help those graduates who are unemployed. It also assists youth in developing self-confidence and determination, which will assist them in dealing with downfall situation due to unstable country's economy. This is because the statistics of unemployment among graduates people during pandemic COVID-19 is 718.1 thousands, which can be considered as a high rate that will affect the sustainability of the country's revenue. The Ministry of Youth and Sports contends that providing developing youth with variety of skills will help them to secure any job employment. Mentors are also crucial to their development. Hence, engaging our youth via this program can enable in guiding and inspire them to unveil their hidden potential. Meanwhile, the strategy for this program is Ministry of Youth and Sports will allocate the budget to create 5 mentoring central buildings at 5 districts, which are located at Tumpat Kelantan, Kuala Terengganu, Rompin Pahang, Sandakan Sabah, and Sibu Sarawak. Minister of Youth and Sports chose this location due to an availability of mentoring center at that location, with the budget allocation of 41.52 million ringgit. The budget will be allocated to provide facilities and bulk and equipment for every mentoring center, such as internet and technology equipment, computer, laptop, art equipment, stationery equipment, pantry equipment, allowance of participants, stationery and maintenance equipment. Meanwhile, for tentative of this program, the mentors will be paid an allowance amounted to 2,500 per month. These initiatives encourage them to do better throughout this program being held. Mentor companionship also will guide the youth for 6 up to 1 year with the skills and knowledge required by the most organizations. Mentoring will be done through offline and online, depending on the current situation of the pandemic in Malaysia. The targeted mentor and mentee are youth 21 years old and above who have no qualifications or skills to get any jobs employment. Nevertheless, youth from that districts who has graduated from the Institute for Public Higher Education (IPTA) or the Private Higher Education Institution (IPTS) but got a poor results and wants to enhance the skills and knowledge could also join this program. Hence, the outcome for this mentoring program is it will help youth people or graduates people to enhance the skills and knowledgeable that are required in the most job employment. Allowance provided to the mentor by the Youth and Sports Ministry also is one of the government's initiatives to help youth to support their life expenses, as certain organizations do not want to hire them to work in their organizations due to lack of qualifications or skills.
As to Experience Leadership Program, which designed for new Malaysian corporate leaders to engage in leadership development and constructive debates. This program is an opportunity for all new business founders, CEO founders, CEOs and business owners in all Malaysia to seek knowledge and explore to expand their business. According to the statistics by SSN, which the business has registered from January 2021 to November 2021 is 353,340 businesses. Thus, we can see the large of business has registered that can be open to all leaders from all states in Malaysia, which who are best suited for this leadership program to cultivate youth leadership skill and the potential to expand the business organization. This is because they will encounter actual business organization with friend collaboration through this program. As a result, the targeted business leaders who will benefit from this program will be around 3,000 leaders of a firm, whether the founder, CEO or business owner from the various states in Malaysia. In terms of the strategy, this activity will be conducted an online training program which the platform can be Google Meet, Zoom or Webex. Since this program involves on ASEAN country, the duration of online training program range from 6 to 8 months, which each leader that has selected from ASEAN country will receive online training where their performance will be checked virtually every month to guarantee that participants obtain experience that will be valuable to them in their organization. Therefore, the cooperation, communication, strategic planning and organizational ability, corporate soft skill and problem resolution are all part of the program's framework. Impact from this strategy, the participants will engage with other business leader representatives from ASEAN countries, which are Brunei, Indonesia, Singapore and Thailand on a continuous basis via an online learning platform in light to the current state of the global pandemic in every country that still risks at must take extra precautions. Thus, the budget allocation for the program of Malaysia ASEAN Leadership Training Program is 1,860,000 ringgit Malaysia in order to provide better skilled entrepreneurs. The Ministry Youth and Sport allocate the budget that will be granted to the participant who will receive money allowance 1,200 ringgit Malaysia each participant during the course to encourage them to be more committed to completing the leadership training. Aside from that, the budget will be used as IT equipment, expenses, training materials such as the module of entrepreneurship and salary to personnel involved in program operation. As the outcome for this program, the Ministry of Youth and Sport to ensure that the participants will be able to guide or lead the business or company to success and continue to be in entrepreneurs industry, which is too difficult to do if the business or company cannot make profit and does not have a proper vision or mission that leads to business property. It will also to motivate leaders in applying the course of leadership in the organization which they have learned to their staff, such as working in device group as well as develop the leader's ability to lead a modern and long-lasting firm and corporation. Furthermore, after completing true leadership training, participants will feel better qualified to lead a diverse team and will be more confident in advising difficult transformation. Hence, this outcome will assist Malaysian firm leaders because this program prepares participants to be fully equipped with a variety of information required in business with the various challenges as a part of a real-world job exposure.
Furthermore, third program under business continuity to rapid the entrepreneurship among youth people is Youth Mypreneur. This program partner with Perbadanan Usahawan Nasional Berhad PUNB to urge more youth to engage in entrepreneurship. Duration of the training will be running through 8 months to complete all the courses. This initiative will also encourage new job creation prospects for TVET youth, particularly those who were still unemployed as a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic. This program has been established on February 2020 virtually by the former Youth and Sports Minister. Former targeted people is 350 graduates from the Youth and Sports Skills Training Institutions, but it will be improvised by increasing the targeted participants to 2,500 graduates. Meanwhile, the strategy for this program is Ministry of Youth and Sports will allocate the budget to build one entrepreneur central building located at Mount Austin, Johor Bahru. With the budget allocation amounted to 4.3 million ringgit to provide the participants a better and conducive environment of training throughout the Youth Mypreneur took place. Budget also will be allocated to provide a variety of facilities needed for this program, which includes maintenance, centers facilities, and equipment such as computer, internet connections, air conditioning, stationeries, printing equipment, chairs and tables, pantry equipment, machinery equipment, image and screen projector equipment, and lighting equipment. Budget also will be allocated to the business funds and capital for participants who successfully convincing the Minister of Youth and Sports with PUNB as they completed the program. The participants will get a monthly training allowance of 1,800 ringgit provided by PUNB and Ministry of Youth and Sports for an 8 months throughout this program been running. Additionally, youth who graduates from the Youth and Sports Skill Training and TVET Vocational College should be between the age of 23 until 28. They must be presently operate a profitable retail distribution or wholesale business that has been in operation for at least 6 months. After completed the program, they will be directed to the point where they should convince the Minister of Youth and Sports and also PUNB to consider getting a minimum business funds and capital of 100,000 ringgit. The outcome of Youth Mypreneur is the participants will get an opportunity to expand their business and get a better wage and salary increment, and also secure a better job that worth the skills they had. The participants also will get a valuable knowledge and skills that hardly to get in any institutions that could help them to be a highly skilled careers of workers after graduates from studies later. After completed the training program and successful convinced the Minister of Youth and Sports and also Perbadanan Usahawan Nasional Berhad PUNB, they will get business funding and capital that can be used to expand their business ventures.
As we know, economic resilience is absolutely essential topic to be discussed, especially the disaster of COVID-19 which began in early 2020. Many people have been affected, resulting in a number of negative consequences for the socio-economic progress of a country. By looking at the national income, such as firms including those in sport, tourism, aviation, hospitality and manufacturing are losing money or being forced to close. Not to mention restaurant property or small dealers, which has resulted in loss of many jobs. However, as we examine the economic and social problem, we must also analyze how the consequence of this pandemic affect the growth and performance of national athletes at the school, national and international level. We as Ministry of Youth and Sport has looked at the effect of COVID-19 outbreak. Several sport activities and sporting events had to be postponed around the world. Therefore, the disease has a negative impact on athletes' growth and performance.
Sport can develop an economic growth because sport have become a normal activity among Malaysians of all ages. Malaysians will also be united in supporting the country's athletes regardless of race and religion. It can be proven at the previous Tokyo Olympic 2020. Malaysians are beginning to realize that the sport industry has a huge impact on the country's economy. However, there are also people who think that the sport has no future because usually the athlete will change according to the passage of time. Furthermore, the sports sector is not limited to manufacture of sport-related equipment, but also include a variety of other components. These include services, medicine, sports science and tourism centered on athlete, the community and the sport activities itself with the primary objective of generating profit. Finally, sport also will enhance and increase the quality of our country's product sales. By the development of eSports Stadium, which located in Bukit Jalil, the purpose of this project or program is to prepare national athletes to compete at the international level through the collaboration with the Esport Business Network, EBN, which is a joint venture of two esport companies in Malaysia, such as Orange Esport Cafe and the gaming company TGC, which wants to drive the advancements of esport to a higher level as well as improve and economic growth through the participation of youths that are interested in gaming. This also aims to be the organizer for several competitions, monitor progress and help players to a higher level. One of the strategies is to provide full gaming equipment such as big screen, PC, monitor, keyboard, mouse controller and gaming system. It also will provide public facilities such as toilets, surau, audience chairs, parking lot, 24-hour security system, VIP room, meeting room, player room and restroom. In addition, Ministry of Youth and Sports also provide fully needs of players in gaming such as Hero, Skin and UC to ensure they are ready to go for training before involving in international competition. Finally, the total budget for this program will be 360 million ringgit Malaysia. So, the outcome is this eSports Stadium will be one of the largest gaming investment venues in Southeast Asia based on the statistic of eSport fans who are growing every year. This eSports Stadium will also increase the country's income with the participation of the international gaming market level. Finally, the eSports Stadium will make Malaysia the host of the upcoming eSport Games. The second project and program under Develop and Economic Growth Program is to build a cycling track in Federal Territory which will be known as Cheetah Lane. The purpose of having this Cheetah Lane is in line with the wishes of Dato Azizul Hasni Awang, who wants a cycling track to be established. The main reason is to be the use of the public, also a training ground for national bicycle athlete. Apart from that, the cycling track in this budget proposal putting the hope to increase the country's income and reduce costs because our country can be a platform for cycling games for next upcoming event. The Cheetah Lane project strategy will be: first, build a Cheetah Lane with a length of about 30 km together with 2 km jogger lane located in Federal Territory because here is a strategic place with many visitors. Second, provide parking lot with capacity 50 motorcycles and 150 cars in order to maximize visitors. Also, provide sport recreation with professional cooperation so that the equipment can be used properly and safely. Third, provide public facilities such as toilet, changing room and 24-hour security. Also, build a management office to ensure this place is well managed and always monitored if there are issues or improvements that can be made. In addition, offer Cheetah Lane to government group, NGOs, private companies or any other related to organize any activities related to bicycles and recreation here. Finally, the total budget under this program will be 10 million ringgit Malaysia. Cheetah Lane will be a place for recreation and event that will be organized by government agencies, NGOs, private companies, institutions and others related. Finally, this program will provide a source of income to the Ministry of Youth and Sport.
The Kirana Bangsa program aims to increase employment prospects of indigenous people, especially to the Pribumi Sabah and Sarawak, as well to promote employee retention and satisfaction. For the participants, they must be between the age of 18 and 13 from the low-income families and must be between the M40 income bracket. This program has been conducted where in 2020, 3 chosen candidates worked as part-time daily workers at the Office YB Deputy Ministry of Youth and Sport for the 7th week before implementing a community development program in their home country for 2 weeks. Furthermore, the Kirana Bangsa program seeks to provide participants with information and experience working in the Ministry of Youth and Sport so that the candidate may become acquainted with the working environment and commit fully. The candidates will be directly experienced which involve in the activities of the Ministry of Youth and Sport, gaining new experience and allowing them to maximize their thinking and come up with new ideas in preparation for community development in their home country. What we hope by this program is the application will have sufficient experience and abilities gained while serving in the Ministry of Youth and Sport. This program can improve the attractiveness and marketability of the job. The Ministry of Youth and Sport has allocated 54,000 ringgit Malaysia for the budget Kirana Bangsa program. This program is improvised from the previous year in 2020 where the Kirana Bangsa program select just 3 applicants and assign them to implement community development initiative in their home country for 2 weeks after serving as the YB Deputy Ministry of Youth and Sport for 7 weeks. Besides that, the previous year we allocated the budget as the promised remuneration is 100 ringgit Malaysia per day and participants will be not supplied with the transportation or lodging during the program. Thus, for the improvised of Kirana Bangsa program, the budget will be allocated to provide a salary to the participant. Hence, this budget is focusing to the participant which to enhance the involvement of the Kirana Bangsa program. This Kirana Bangsa program will produce more young people who can contribute to ideas that lead to community development as the number of candidates increases. The Kirana Bangsa project has also been expanded so that candidates can get experience and explore every aspect of community development in their home country. The budget for the first project, Support Healing Rehabilitation, that will be 3 programs which are Secretary Rehabilitation Center, and the budget estimated for this program is 1,700,000 ringgit Malaysia. The total budget for the second program is Community Recreation Sport Hub will be 30 million ringgit Malaysia. Besides that, the Ministry of Youth and Sport allocate 9 million for the program Mental Health Sport Cafe. And the last program under the first project which is Disabled Sports School, and the budget allocation will be 77,600,000 ringgit Malaysia. Hence, the total budget for the first project which is Sport Healing Rehabilitation will be 133,600,000 ringgit Malaysia. The second project is Enhancing Youth Talent and Rapid Entrepreneurship. The budget for the first program will be conducted by the Ministry of Youth and Sport is 1 year, 1 mentoring for Malaysia, which the budget allocation will be 41,520,000 ringgit Malaysia. The second program is Malaysian ASEAN Leadership Training under this project, which the budget estimated will be 1,860,000 ringgit Malaysia. Lastly, the budget allocation for the program of Youth Entrepreneur is 4,300,000 ringgit Malaysia. Hence, the total budget for the second project will be 47,680,000 ringgit Malaysia. The last project under the Ministry of Youth and Sport is Develop an Economic Group to conduct 3 programs which are Esports Stadium, Cycling Track and Kirana Bangsa program. We allocate the budget for the program Esports Stadium is 360 million ringgit Malaysia, and the budget for Cycling Track program will be 10 million ringgit Malaysia. Last program under this project, which is Kirana Bangsa program, has improvised the budget compared to the year of 2020, which the estimated budget for this program is 54,000 ringgit Malaysia. Hence, the total budget for the last project, which is Develop an Economic Growth, will be 370,054,000 ringgit Malaysia. Therefore, the budget statement of the Ministry of Youth and Sport with the total estimated expenditure for all programs of 2021 will be 551,334,000 ringgit Malaysia.
In conclusion, the Ministry of Youth and Sports will ensure youth and sports to be balanced where the programs and activity can be participated and contributed that not only to focus on urban areas but the opportunities also offered to rural areas. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, the economic growth has declined. This is because many of economic sectors halt all their operations, which many entrepreneurs has to close their operations because of it. Therefore, with the goals of Budget 2022, the Ministry of Youth and Sports will also ensure the program that had been listed and planned will run smoothly.